In the last video, we brought up the concept of video games and hobbies versus investing time in the relationship. So that's where this video picks up. We do have a video game story or years and years of video gaming.
He's been gaming kind of since we moved here, right? I mean,
yeah, we got
98, 99, 2000. So he had been gaming for a solid 20 years of our marriage. Where he would come home, set his keys down, kind of decompress just a little bit for a couple minutes, and then sit in front of the TV and either watch TV or typically play video games. And I'd be out there working on the lawn or that sort of thing. So there was some stuff that got changed as far as like the balance of work at home. Because I was homeschooling during that time. So I was, working all day. But the video games, I don't know. It used to frustrate him and I didn't get it. I'm like, how is this? Sit here like this fun, how is that relaxing? And, just all the time you're like, I didn't get it. I just missed it.
Yeah.
And there were even some games, I don't know that you know this, but like the driving game, once that would come out, I'm like, okay, I'm going in the other room because he just gets so frustrated. I don't even know where they fell off. So it's been a few years and it's been nice. He's a lot more even keel. And the interesting thing was when he stopped playing, those moments he did stop playing, and I'm like, okay, let's do something. It's almost like he wanted me to entertain him at that point. I'm like, I'm not, if you look, everybody who's watching this, if you look at the screen, then look at life, whatever is a wall or we have a kitchen behind it, the screen is sparkling. It's like, it just demands your attention. This doesn't do that, It's like I would have to, get up and do this like goofy dance in order to get his attention as much as video games did. So I'm like, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not like, let's just connect.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let that release the feel-good chemicals in you. Like, let's talk, let's emotionally connect. And we found a few tools to allow that to happen pretty quickly. But anyway, that's kind of our story with video games. What do you have to?
Well, so there's an author named Jay Stringer. He wrote a book called Unwanted. And in there, he was the first person that really gave me an idea of what gaming / other forms of entertainment are for me sometimes, which is they're dissociative, meaning I leave reality. And for an addict, leaving reality is not necessarily healthy. Consistently leaving reality. I even have to be careful when it comes to reading novels because I will get so invested in the story that I shut other things out. Now, I've had conversations with my therapist about it that, getting lost in a book means it's a good story. And I agree, but getting lost there for an hour or longer and, taking away from time that I could be sharing with Lori and getting lost in this story, is
nice.
Is certainly has its challenges to get, engaging with a video game. I push a button and I'm engaged. Engaging with her takes, all of those things that you've talked about, the vulnerability, the openness, willingness to engage, kind of overcoming some of those typical things we've done. And in some ways, I think it's might be a really Western or first world problem of, I just have so much entertainment, that I can choose from, and entertainment disassociating from my reality and going down a rabbit hole, whether that's binge watching a TV show or getting out on however many hundreds of golf courses, or hanging out with the guys and playing basketball, or, I mean, there's just so many ways you can exit reality. And I think that's healthy to occasionally exit reality. But in my case, I was always exiting reality.
Yeah.
And that doesn't build good relationship with her. And it doesn't grow me up. It doesn't make me more mature. And that's really where it was limiting for me as well.
It's my default too, is to escape into that stuff.
Like, I know that, there's a difference between reading fantasy or fiction versus learning. I know that there are a lot of people, I'm one of them, that just love learning, love learning. We have a lot of clients who love learning, but never putting it into action, never applying it to their life. So on the one hand, it looks like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm active in the relationship because I'm reading some of the books you mentioned before, and or other books on porn addiction or how to heal your marriage or whatever. I'm reading that. And so she's set at ease, like, okay, he's investing, but he's just like learning all this stuff so he can start, sound smarter with the men's group, not ever putting it into practice. So there's ever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth, or never living it out. That's one thing as well that I feel successful. I feel like I'm progressing. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I feel like it's good. But then, there needs to be a lived out, living out of that information in the relationship if it's really going to do any good. So there's feeling like I'm accomplishing something in finishing a book, a fantasy book, or gaining knowledge, or completing a video game, versus truly learning and improving, and like knowing like I'm doing a better job at life. I'm a better human. Like, I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do for other people. I'm helping people heal. That feels like something you can reflect on that will bring you joy later, versus, I finished that one fantasy book, or I learned, all that information and never really applied it.
Yeah.
One thing Jay just said was, exiting reality can be healthy. And I believe that's the same. I believe in that to a limited extent. Like our marriage therapist said, Jay needs refreshing time, whatever that looks like for him. For our therapist, it was sitting out on the back deck with a glass of wine, watching his favorite comedy for 30 minutes. And, for Jay, sometimes it was, he did, like I saw sometimes if he had a bad day at work, one of the best places for him to refresh was with a video game. But at that point, I think we started limiting it to, like, I can't remember how many.
An hour.
Was it an hour?
Yeah.
Because he could literally go for 5-6 hours a night.
Yeah.
Or sometimes a comedy would be better, or sometimes just sitting out on the back deck, or like Jay used to keep bees. And so sometimes we'd sit out and just watch the bees come and go out of the bee box. And that was just mesmerizing. I mean, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, so I do believe that video games and even entertainment, like that's one of the things Jay taught me, because I'm such a type A person, just always going. He taught me, the value of comedies and enjoying TV, and just having that place where you have to sit still. When I'm watching TV by myself, like on the computer, I'm constantly reversing it, because I'm like off doing something at the same time. But when I'm watching TV with Jay, I have to sit and watch, and I can't constantly be flipping it back, because my mind, is somewhere else, because that would be rude to Jay. Unfortunately, I still do it sometimes, like, oh, I missed that, what they say. But so he's taught me the benefit of refreshment time. He's even taught me the benefit of video games. That was one of the ways we connected after our healing years started. And that was TW.
Army of Two. Yeah.
Army of Two. That was kind of one of those ways we started connecting in a different way. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. On the next video, we will discuss some of the brain science behind like entertainment addictions and also what kind of satisfaction can break some of those addictions. So we'll see you then.
Bye.